Hi, welcome to Bill Crockett Ministries and our series entitled Living Free from Financial Stress. We are actually on the fourth video in this series. We went through an introduction. Part 1, without this, nothing works. Part 2, the roadmap. We talked about the roadmap that we were going to follow in order to get here, and we entitled that How It All Works. Now we're on part 3, and the title of the lesson today is The Why and the What. In our roadmap, we mentioned 7 questions that we want to answer, and in answering these questions, it will help us to understand how to live free from financial stress. So today, we are going to answer questions 1 and 2, and we call that the why and the what. So let's dig right into it. Number 1, why is it so important to understand how to manage money? Well, let me give you 4 things that describe for us why it's so important that we understand all these principles we're going to talk about. Number 1, because money affects every area of our life. It affects our relationships. It affects our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, and our physical condition, and it affects the opportunities that we have in life. Money affects every area of our life. And if you've ever been through financial stress, or if you're going through it right now, you know what I'm telling you is true because it's affecting every part of your life. So it's important to understand how to manage it properly so that it doesn't affect our life negatively. Number 2, why is it important to understand how to manage money? Because poor money management often leads to stress, debt, conflict, and even severe depression. I have actually counseled with people who were at the point of ending their life because of the financial difficulty they were in. My friend, this is not a joke. This is a tool that Satan can use to ruin your life if you do not learn to manage it properly. So why is it so important to understand how to manage money? Because poor money management can ruin your life. But number 3, it's important to understand how to manage money because wise money management can do just the opposite. It can bring peace, freedom, and the ability to give generously and help other people. And my friend, let me tell you from experience, there is nothing in the world like living free from financial stress, having peace, not worrying about being able to pay your bills, and having the ability to give and help other people. One of the greatest joys in life is to be able to give of yourself and your resources to help other people. So that's why it's important to learn how to manage money. And then number 4, finally, it's important to understand how to manage money because understanding money is not just about finances. It's about faithfulness and stewardship before God. Why? Because it all belongs to Him anyway. It's important that we understand how to manage money so we'll be good stewards of the resources that God has given us. So number 1, why is it so important to understand how to manage money? It affects every area of our life. Poor money management can ruin our life. Wise money management can enhance our life. And we need to be good stewards of what God's given us because every dime we have came from God and belongs to God. And that's where the next dime's going to come from. So it's important that we go through this series and we learn how to properly manage money. Number 2, question number 2 on our roadmap, what is really going on when we experience financial stress? When we're going through financial difficulty, when we're stressed out about money, when we can't pay the bills, when we've gotten into debt, what is really going on? Well, most people would say, I just don't have enough money. My friend, we're going to see in just a minute, there are 3 things that are the foundational problems whenever we're experiencing financial stress. One or more of these 3 things is happening in my life if I'm going through financial stress. So let me show you what these 3 things are. Number 1, misplaced priorities. I've started pleasing myself instead of focusing on pleasing God. Now, how do I know that's happening to me? And if you listen to our introduction and you listen to part 1, which was without these things, nothing else works. The 2 things that have to be right are priorities and our purpose. If they're not right, Nothing else works. When I have misplaced priorities, meaning I'm trying to please myself now instead of trying to please God, it's going to mess me up financially. How do I know I've got misplaced priorities financially? Let me give you 4 things. Number 1, we start to buy impulsively. We're going after what we want instead of being satisfied with what we need. Now, let me say this. God will provide our needs, but God also provides much more than that. We will always not only have our needs, God will also provide some of those wants. God loves us. He wants to bless us, and He will do that. But I need to be satisfied with what I need, not what I want. And when we start to buy impulsively, Amazon, and look, I'm an Amazon Prime member. I use Amazon. But when you start to find yourself going on Amazon and buying things you don't need with money you don't have just to relieve stress, then you've got misplaced priorities. You are buying impulsively, and that will get you into financial trouble every time. Number 2, I know I've got misplaced priorities when I start letting my money tell me what to do instead of me telling my money what to do. What does money tell us? It says 2 things. It's all it ever says. Money will always tell you, spend me. Spend me. It's never going to say save me, because that's why saving it's so hard to do. When money starts to tell you what to do, you're going to have some real bad financial problems because money's telling you to spend it. Now, how do I keep from doing that? I have a budget. So what's the real problem here? When money's telling me what to do, it's because I don't have a written budget, or I've got one and I don't live by it. I'm letting my money tell me when to spend it. I want this, I spend it. I've got it, I spend it. Money's telling me what to do. I don't have a written budget where I tell my money what to do. And my friend, let me tell you this. One of the most critical parts of managing money properly is a written budget that you follow, where you have taken your income and your expenses and you have allotted things so that you know you have the money you need to pay your bills. When you don't know where your money is or where it's going, that's when you're not sure if you're going to have enough to live on, and that causes stress. A written budget will help eliminate that. Number 3, I have misplaced priorities when I think more about satisfying myself than I do about pleasing God. Then I know I've got misplaced priorities. And then number 4, I know I've got misplaced priorities when I stop following the Bible and I start following the world around me. When I'm letting social media, my friends, the advertisements, TV, when I let them start telling me what to do with my money, that's when I know I've got misplaced priorities. I'm trying to please myself instead of pleasing God. Number 2, what's really going on when we experience financial stress? We have misguided purposes. Our purpose is wrong. Here's what I mean. Our purpose becomes getting rich and getting what I want instead of fulfilling God's purpose and plan for my life. When my purpose in life is to get rich and get what I want instead of doing God's will, then I'm going to have financial stress every time. Now, how do I know this is happening? Because we begin to let things and money guide our behaviors instead of the plan of God and God's will guiding our behaviors. You see, money management is all about behavior. It's not about the amount of money. And so when I allow this world, when I allow things and getting more money to guide my behaviors, I get extra jobs, I work more, I neglect my family because I'm trying to make more money, or I spend more money because I want things. When I start doing that, when I begin to do that, that tells me I've got misguided purposes. My purpose needs to be, God, what do you want me to do? I want to please you. I want to fulfill your will for my life. And along the way, you can bless me. You know, I went through a period of time like that where I finally just surrendered. And by the way, I was having all kinds of financial problems. Once I surrendered to do whatever God wanted me to do, He provided me with a job. He then provided me with promotions. My income slowly began to grow. I began to get out of financial stress. Things began to get better. And I began to do the things that brought me joy, but it wasn't my money telling me what to do. I was trying to do what God wanted me to do, and God provided everything else. And my friend, he'll do the same thing for you. Misguided purposes, it's when we start to let things and money guide our behaviors instead of letting God's plan for our life guide our behaviors. But number two, misguided purposes, they can cause problems because when you have a misguided purpose, it leads to bad decisions, bad relationships, harmful consequences, like accumulating debt. You see, our purpose has got to be to please God, not to get rich and not to get what I want. Doesn't mean God won't let you be rich. It doesn't mean God won't give you what you want. But God has got to be first. Priorities and our purpose have to be right, or nothing else works. And number three, what's really going on whenever we have financial stress? Well, we've got a misunderstood problem sometimes. This can be it. Misplaced priorities, pleasing ourselves instead of God, a misguided purpose. My purpose in life is to get rich and get what I want and not to fulfill God's will. Or number three, a misunderstood problem. Well, what is this? Well, here's the misunderstood problem. It's not about the amount of money you have, but it's about your behavior. You see, so many people think when they have financial stress, the problem is, I don't have enough money. But they don't realize that's not the problem. God has given you everything you need to live. We just need to learn to live on what God has given us. Let me give you three things about why this is a misunderstood problem. Number one, more money will not solve your problem. So the amount of money is not the problem. Because if you get more of it, it's not going to solve your problem. Because if you get $5 and you spend all $5, if you get $5,000, you're going to do the same thing. Because managing money is about your behavior. It's not about the amount of money. You're going to use the same behavior you used when you had $5 when you get $5,000. You're going to do the same thing. If you are an impulsive spender, you will spend up that $5,000 just like you spent up that $5. So more money will not solve your problem. Misunderstood problem, it's because we trust money more than we trust God. God says, if you'll seek me first and live the way I tell you to live, then I will provide everything you need. You got to trust God. God will take care of you. But a misunderstood, if you think more money is what you need, instead of changing your behavior to trust God and not trust your money, do with your money what God tells you to do and trust God to take care of you. Look, planning a budget, it may not look like it's going to work, but God will make it work if you do the right thing. And then number three, it's a misunderstood problem because the only cure for financial stress is to change our habits and our behaviors, not get more money. Getting more money does not change financial stress. Let me tell you this. I know a couple of billionaires. Yep. And by the way, I'm not one of them, but I do know a couple of them. And both of these people that I know, they would tell you straight up that having a lot of money does not relieve stress. What you do with that money, that's what helps to relieve the stress. More money just means more problems unless you manage it properly. So, the why and the what. Questions 1 and 2 on our roadmap to living free from financial stress. Next time, we're going to get into question number 3, and that is, what is money management? And then question number 4, what determines good or bad money management? So I hope that you'll join us in our next episode as we discuss those two things. So thank you today for joining us. Again, if you're not a part or a subscriber of our YouTube channel, Bill Crockett Ministries, please follow us and subscribe, like this video, and tell your friends about it, especially if you've got some that are struggling with financial stress. Please recommend them, pass this along. Hopefully it will help them. Thanks again for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.